Justice is one of the most powerful ideas humanity has ever known. Every culture, every nation, and every belief system talks about it. Yet, all across the world, millions of people feel that justice is incomplete, delayed, or never truly served. Why is that? Welcome to Time for Justice. Today, we're re-exploring the profound difference between earthly justice systems and the universal law of justice, system that operates beyond courts, verdicts, wealth, power, and human authority. This video is for anyone who has ever asked, why does justice often feel so unfair? Why do powerful people seem to escape accountability? Is there a higher form of justice beyond our human systems? And does true and fair justice exist for everyone? This isn't about attacking institutions, it's about understanding justice at its deepest level. Let's start with what we all know, earthly justice. These are the systems we see every day, created by people to manage society. They rely on laws, procedures, courts, and enforcement. These systems are absolutely necessary for order, but they are not perfect. In fact, they are deeply flawed. Why does justice often seem to depend on money and power? Because earthly justice is influenced by things like financial resources, the quality of your legal representation, political power, and your status and influence in society. Because of this, justice is often unequal. Those with resources get access to a better version of it. Those without are often left waiting, hoping, or completely forgotten. This is precisely why so many people experience our justice system as unfair or incomplete. It's not just a feeling. It's a reality built into the system itself. And this leads to another problem. A verdict doesn't always bring peace. A legal verdict might close a case file, but it doesn't always heal the harm or bring closure to those affected. Many victims and their families walk away from a courtroom feeling empty, without clarity, and with no sense of restoration. This happens because earthly justice is primarily focused on technicalities. It's about meeting evidence thresholds, sticking to narrow legal definitions, and achieving a specific procedural outcome. But justice is so much more than just legality. True justice includes the intent behind an action, the full impact of that action, the consequences that follow, and ultimately, restoring a sense of balance. When those essential elements are ignored, any verdict, no matter what it is, feels hollow and meaningless. So, if earthly justice is limited, what's the alternative? This brings us to the universal law of justice. Beyond our man-made systems, there exists something much older, deeper, and truly universal, the law of cause and effect. Some call it karma, some call it universal law, but its principles are the same. This law operates whether people believe in it or not. It doesn't need our permission, our institutions, or our recognition to function. Most importantly, it applies equally to everyone regardless of wealth, race, status, or power. Under this universal law, every single action carries a consequence. Every intention has weight, and eventually, balance is always restored. This is what people are truly seeking when they talk about true and fair justice for all. It's the understanding that no one gets away with anything, even if it looks like they do in the short term. Justice doesn't start in courtrooms. It starts with every choice we make. Think about the unseen world and moral accountability. There are many forces we cannot see, yet we know they exist. Gravity, energy, even our own thoughts and intentions. We can't hold them in our hands, but we experience their effects every single day. Justice at the universal level operates in the same way. It doesn't depend on witnesses, videotapes, or stacks of documentation. It depends on truth, on intention, and on personal responsibility. Some systems of justice can't be seen, but they never fail. This unseen system addresses not only what was done, but why it was done and how it truly affected others. It's a complete picture, not just the tiny snapshot that a court case can provide. This is the foundation of genuine moral accountability. And here's the most powerful part. Universal justice cannot be corrupted. True justice cannot be bought. Our earthly systems, being man-made, can be influenced, manipulated, and corrupted. We see it happen all the time. But with universal justice, there are no loopholes. There is no favoritism. There is no escape through wealth, power, or connections. This is precisely why understanding universal law can restore our faith when human systems fail. It's a profound reminder that accountability exists beyond what we can see, beyond appearances, and beyond the headlines. It's also important to reframe our understanding of what justice is. We often think of it as punishment or revenge. But at a universal level, justice is about balance, not punishment. It's a natural process that corrects the imbalance created by harmful actions. It restores order not through fear, but through consequence and awareness. This form of justice teaches responsibility. It encourages us to live ethically because it's the right thing to do, not just because we're afraid of getting caught. It's about evolution and learning, not just retribution. So, if this knowledge of universal justice is so empowering, why has it been ignored or even suppressed for so long? Throughout history, centralized systems governments, religious institutions, legal bodies gained power by positioning themselves as the only path to justice and moral authority. They needed people to believe that justice could only be delivered through them. But what happens when people stop depending entirely on these external systems? When people understand universal law, they rely less on external validation and more on their own inner compass and personal accountability. Knowledge of universal justice empowers individuals, and empowered individuals are much harder to control. This brings us to the core message: true justice for all. Justice was never meant for the few. It doesn't belong to the elites, too powerful institutions, or too complex legal systems. It belongs to everyone. Universal justice ensures that no action is meaningless, no harm is truly ignored, and no truth is ever permanently lost. It operates patiently, consistently, and with absolute fairness for all. And this is why this channel, Time for Justice, exists. Our purpose is to restore understanding, clarity, and hope. We are here to explore justice beyond appearances, beyond the courtroom dramas, and to help people reconnect with a form of fairness that does not depend on privilege or power. Sometimes it feels like justice is delayed, but it helps to think of it in a different way. Justice is not delayed, it unfolds. It has its own timing, and that timing is not always immediate. It works on a much grander scale than our human lifespans or news cycles. So, let's end with a final reflection. When earthly justice fails, it does not mean that justice is gone. It simply means it has moved beyond our visibility, into the realm where true balance is restored. Justice doesn't disappear, transforms. True justice is universal. True justice is fair. And true justice applies to all. This is Time for Justice. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that goes beyond the surface. We'll see you next time.